谢谢盛副主任，请就座。
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished hosts, thank you very much for the invitation to be here today. Give you some ideas, stimulate some thought, some strategies that maybe you can use within the work that you're doing. So, to get things started. A number of years ago, I was the executive director of a large organization called the World Green Building Council. We worked very hard with the United Nations, World Business Council for Sustainable Development, and others to try and really figure out a process to educate people on green buildings. How do we transform a marketplace? And that's really part of my message today, is that transformation. 60 countries now work together under the World Green Building Council to make an impact and make a difference. We look at the fact that the global construction sector is a $4.7 trillion industry, one of the biggest industries in the world. If we have an opportunity to make an impact in this sector, hopefully we can start moving towards change. But we look at the marketplace today. Only 8% of buildings are high performance or green buildings. Only 6% of transportation uses anything other than traditional gasoline. Only 15% of our energy actually comes from renewables. We look at what the United Nations says about population growth. 6.5 to 7 billion people on this planet right now, potentially growing to 9 billion people by 2050. 70% of us will be living in urban centers. There are 18 megacities on this planet right now. By 2050, that could grow to over 27 megacities. And of course, especially some of the conversations from this morning, earlier presenters, the issues around the fuel sources that we have to drive this change. Population's growing. The access to oil is going fast. And in fact, the ability to utilize and get cheap fossil fuels is drastically going down. So we take a look at what this means together. In 1990, there was 1.6 billion people on this planet. We've had a rapid increase in that population growth. We know that our fossil fuels are going down. And eventually there's going to be a point where on the other side of that threshold, the air quality, the carbon emissions, toxins, byproducts are going to be too much to bear. And we're working very hard right now to find ways to satisfy that hunger. What a green building is about, and ask for it. Billions of dollars being sunk into energy security, clean energy and clean technologies. The leadership of China, leaders in the world for total investments in renewable energy and energy efficiency. Our economy is based on lumber, oil, mining, natural gas, all very carbon intensive elements that drive our economy. Buildings or other forms of communication in the works right now that will surpass this, and that's what I hope for. But it's that ability to create the leadership between industry that we're masters at more than one sector, more than one thing. Astronauts, medical, astronomers, they really bridge the opportunity to showcase to people what it is we talked about when it comes to green living. They would come together at different trade shows. Success to see these pictures. Completely, the amount of people coming through these, and we even published a book from this. It was a great success.
Opportunities and technologies to really give us something to think about and implement the work that we're doing is very important. All of a sudden, legislation kicks in, the technology becomes cheaper, and the market shifts. You can't get a carburetor in anymore. Can that happen with electric vehicles? Now, I used to be an industrial designer.